Hello students, today we are going to start the very first part of the immune system, that what is our immune system, how many things that actually compose our immune system, where all those B and T cells are formed, produce, synthesize, mature and all. Okay, so let us start our immune system. Okay, so before understanding actually immune system, we need to have the prior idea of B and T cells, B lymphocyte and the T lymphocyte, which will provide us the humoral and the cell mediated immunity. So all those things we have discussed. Now in this video we will see only what is our immune system basically made up of. Okay, so the main thing about the immune system, that immune system is the system which provide us protection. So for the protection purpose we have the immune system. Just think, this is just like suppose a system that is having a number of armies, okay, and that is going to fight against the pathogens, the foreign particle. They try to enter inside our body and cause disease, right? So that is our immune system. Now we will have a question that where all those system, where the immune system lies, right? So immune system is nothing but actually a complex system of numbers of organs, tissues, vessels, etc. Okay, so our immune system basically made up of the lymphoid organs, right? So we will see what is the lymphoid organ. Then we will have the lymphatic vessels. Then we will see the lymph node. Okay, so this basic three things will form the whole immune system of our body. Now the thing is that in our body we have another system, vascularized system, that is known as lymphatic system. Now you already know what is lymph. Lymph means it is nothing but the part or the liquid composition that comes outside the blood vessel, and they carry the waste material. Maybe it is the nitrogenous waste material as well as carbon dioxide, that actually will be transported by the actually a system that is known as lymphatic system, and it will bring back once again to the blood vascular system. So that is actually the lymph. Now the thing is that our number of organs, they have a very unique function, that it can produce, it can synthesize the cells that we have already talked about, that is B and T cell, right? So where actually those B and T cells are formed, that actually provide us that immunity. So let us see first of all the first part, that is the lymphatic organ. Okay, so what is the lymphatic organ? The organ who actually take part in the formation, synthesis and the maturation of two cells, they are B and T lymphocyte. Now this is actually a structure, though I am not drawing the proper, it just look like a human system where I have drawn the lymphatic structures. So let us see what is the organ. So right here we can see this is the bone marrow, right? So in that bone marrow we have a red part, red bone marrow. So this red bone marrow is a lymphoid organ, right? And on this region, on the wall of the heart, we have another organ that is known as the thymus, right? So these are the two organs known as the primary lymphoid organ. So if you see the lymphoid organ, then the lymphoid organs are also divided into two types. One is known as the primary lymphoid organ and another is known as the secondary lymphoid organ. What is the primary lymphoid organ? The primary lymphoid organ will help in the production and maturation of B and T lymphocyte will occur in the primary lymphoid organ. So what are those organs? See, red bone marrow and the thymus. So what happened? Both B and T cell, B lymphocyte and the T lymphocyte, they are synthesized in the bone marrow, right? So in this region we are going to synthesize. We have actually the hematopoietic stem cell where actually the different blood cells are also produced. So one of those cells, this is also present in our blood vascular system, that is the different type of WBCs. So these are nothing but what? These are nothing but our one type of defense mechanism also. WBC participate in our immune response also, immune system also. So what happened? This red bone marrow will synthesize B and the T lymphocyte. The B and T lymphocyte, they will be formed and matured in the primary lymphoid organ. And what happened? That first of all synthesis of B and T lymphocyte will occur in the bone marrow. But what happened to the T lymphocyte? See, this T lymphocyte will mature to the thymus so that it can get differentiated. First of all, it will get matured properly so that it can develop all those receptors and all. Okay, so the next one, that is the B lymphocyte. B lymphocyte maturation will take place in the same bone marrow, but the T lymphocyte maturation will occur in the thymus. Okay, so that organ who help in the production and maturation of the B and T lymphocyte, what we can call, they are known as the primary lymphoid organ. So this is the bone marrow where both B and T lymphocytes are formed. Bone marrow is also the site of maturation of B lymphocyte, but whenever it comes to the T lymphocyte, it is produced in the bone marrow, but it get matured in the thymus. Okay, so that's why primary lymphoid organ, they are the organs where this B and T lymphocytes are formed and matured, right? Now after that, see, next one, that is the secondary lymphoid organ. So what are those secondary lymphoid organ? These organs where the B and T lymphocytes, they are proliferated, right, and they will be differentiated. Okay, so there are numbers of organ in our body, in our immune system, where the B and T lymphocyte, they will get proliferated and differentiated into numbers of varieties of cells, right? So what are those? See, here we have one organ, that is spleen, right? Here we have one organ in this region of the pharynx. What we have here, we have the tonsil, this is the tonsil. Next one, here on the small intestine region, here in this region we are going to have the pairs, patches. So what are those? These organs are nothing but the B and T lymphocyte differentiation and proliferation site. So what happened to the B and T lymphocyte? It will not going to be stored only in the bone marrow. They will be carried from the blood vessels. Then after that, it will reach the different type of secondary lymphoid organ where they will be proliferated and differentiated. So these are known as the lymphoid organ. We have two types of lymphoid organ. One is primary, second one is the secondary lymphoid organ. Examples, remember. Next one, come to the lymphatic vessels. See, to carry the lymph, we have a system that is known as lymphatic system, who actually is present throughout the body. Okay, so these are nothing but the lymphatic vessels, right? So these are the lymphatic vessels who will actually carry the lymph. Okay, and ultimately, eventually, this lymphatic vessel will carry the lymph, and that lymph will, at one period of time, it will going to get blend, actually joins to the inferior vena cava, right? Inferior vena cava will carry the deoxygenated blood to the heart so that it can pump to the lung so that it can get oxygenated. what happened, this lymphatic vessel who is carrying now the lymph, along with that lymph we will have WBCs too. So what happened, that lymph will be carried by the lymphatic vessels, and eventually this lymphatic vessels will give this lymph to the inferior vena cava, and that lymph will be converted into blood whenever it comes once again to the blood vessels. So these are known as the lymphatic vessels. So lymphatic vessels also have a very unique function, that it is going to have very high level of different type of immune cells. So that immune cells will be flowing already in the lymphatic vessels. Whenever we have one emergency, suppose there is a entry or attack of foreign particle, those from this lymphatic vessels, the the different type of immune cells that will come and kill that foreign particle. Now after that we will come to the last part, that is the lymphatic nodes or the lymph nodes. So what are the lymph nodes here? The lymph nodes are those dots, black dots I have drawn throughout the body. Around the lymphatic vessels, in the region in between at the interval we have the lymphatic vessels, and in that lymphatic vessels in the middle I have drawn those dots. Have you seen? So what are those? These are the lymphatic nodes. So what are the lymphatic nodes? Lymphatic nodes are actually a region. Suppose this is the lymphatic vessel. Okay, so number of lymphatic vessels they are coming. This is one organ that will be known as the node-like structure. This is a site where the WBCs are present in high amount. Okay, so those nodes, they will provide the protection. See, in this region, in the lymphatic vessel, suppose you have some foreign particle, then this lymphatic node will provide that WBC, and that WBC will kill that pathogen. So this lymph node is nothing, just it is acting like a purifier, isn't that? So whenever this lymph is flowing inside the lymphatic vessel, at the interval we will have the lymphatic node who will purify the lymph, as well as it will kill the foreign particles. So these are known as the lymphatic nodes or the lymph nodes. So what are the lymphatic system? Lymphatic system will comprise the lymphatic organs or the lymphoid organs, lymphatic vessels, and the lymphatic or the lymph node. All of them, they are providing us immunity by producing, maturing, proliferating and differentiating the B and T cells. And we already know that B cells, they will provide us humoral immunity, who will form the different types of antibodies, and the T lymphocytes, they are providing us the cell-mediated immune system or cell-mediated immunity, where the T lymphocyte will differentiate into 4 different type of cells. They are known as the cytotoxic killer cell. They will be also suppressor cell, helper cell, and the memory cell. Memory cell will be present in the CMIS as well as the AMIS also. So this is all about the immune system, where B and T lymphocyte mature, proliferate, differentiate and provide us immunity. So that is all about the immune system. Hope all of you have understood. We also need to know one very important point. The question will be asked basically from the example of the primary and the secondary lymphoid organ. We have one very important organ, that is a lymphatic organ or lymphoid organ, named as MALT, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, which is present throughout our alimentary canal. So that mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, which is present in the inner lining of our whole alimentary canal, this is also providing us immunity. If some foreign particle enters and we eat with the food or water, then this MALT will they have this capacity to kill that foreign particle. So that is all about the MALT, and this MALT will constitute around 50% of the lymphoid organ. So that's why MALT will be the largest lymphoid organ. Otherwise, if you see the other type of secondary lymphoid organ, then we have tonsils, we have Peyer's patches, we have the spleen. These are also the lymphoid organs. This will be the secondary lymphoid organ. If it comes to the primary lymphoid organ, then we have only two primary lymphoid organ. One is the red bone marrow and the second one is the thymus. In the red bone marrow, both the B and T lymphocytes are formed, synthesized, and also the B lymphocyte will be mature. But if it comes to the T lymphocyte, it will be produced in the bone marrow, but it will be matured in the thymus. So that's why actually this word T comes, and from this bone marrow region from where this B lymphocyte is coming, actually it is not, first of all, for the first time in birds there was an organ bursa of fabricus actually was found, or it was discovered from where this B, that word we use the term B lymphocyte, that B actually letter is come from this bursa of fabricus from birds. So yeah, that is all about the immune system that is providing us immunity. Thank you all of you. I hope you have understood. So that's all about the immune system. Thank you.